Scotch lovers. How you doing tonight?
Good evening.
So
Scotch for Dummies.
It's our normal. Well, it's not our normal Scotch night. We're pulling the trigger a day early because that's just how this week's rolling.
Yeah,
It's been a long week, so we just pulled it early.
But that's okay, right?
We still got Scotch to review.
Exactly. So we do. So tonight we're doing Glenlivet. The Glenlivet.
There's a story behind that.
So this is the 15-year French oak variety of Glenlivet.
Pour me one up.
Ready.
Distillery started in 1823. The original distiller liked to make it on the down low, right? Gets himself a permit, so he's legit in
Gets a new
1823.
license. Yeah.
In the 1880s, he had to sue to make sure that nobody else could use the Glenlivet name.
Because a lot of people were riding his coattails.
Right.
You were spending a lot of time doing this.
You know, yeah.
It's named after an area.
Yeah, I mean, the name comes from the area.
Exactly.
The River Livet, which, you know, I mean, so in all fairness, they should have been able to use the name Glenlivet, which they are allowed to use it in a suffix, I guess.
Right. But, you know,
But not the.
that's the courts for you. If you grease the right wheels, you get your way. Right? But we're not here to discuss the legal systems in any of these countries. We're here to talk about Scotch. Let's talk about this Glenlivet 15 for a
What we
little
got here,
bit.
Sean? Tell us about it.
So this particular Scotch is matured in French oak casks. The oak that they're using is the same oak that they use to mature cognac in.
Ooh.
So,
Fancy.
you know,
Cognac.
It's gonna be strong.
I don't know that that's gonna.
And so cognac is distilled wine, or is that brandy? Or the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not a huge cognac guy. Some
Sounds
people
like
like it.
special.
It's not really my cup of
I'm gonna
tea.
find out about it.
But we're going to talk about this
French oak.
Scotch.
So I
here.
do smell that oak in there.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'm thinking
So,
it's
what's
usually a
the-
lighter flavor than American oak, I would think.
Yeah. 40% alcohol, 80 proof.
Thank you.
There you
It's
go.
actually pretty light on
What's
the nose.
the
Johnny.
what's the
It's-
normal
it's real
price for
light.
this? Do we know?
It's about $50.
Okay.
$50 a bottle.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of light.
I think so.
We got a special deal on this bottle, so
Light fruit.
Yeah, I got fruit.
Get some
Yeah.
fruit in there.
Yeah.
I get a little honey too. I mean,
Butter nose.
it's like
I swear
sunshine.
somewhere it said pineapple. I smell pineapple. Does this say pineapple on one of these?
Grapefruit.
Grapefruit is what you got?
Grapefruit.
Occasionally we just write in words to see if
Grapefruit.
Mark can
It's
smell it in
juicy.
the bottle.
It is juicy.
The Scotch
It
horse.
smells like sweaty shoes.
It's in there. I got it.
But there's
You guys don't
absolutely
smell
there's
that?
no smoke. There's no none of that stuff. It's
No,
just
very light.
No,
Very light
Space
fruit.
Side. Did you mention that?
Yeah, it's space out.
Yep.
Speyside. Well, bottoms up.
But it's by the river Livet. So.
I know where I caught pineapple. It was in this whiskey book. It said some of the.
There is a hint of pineapple. There
Giddy
is
up.
definitely a hint of pineapple.
I think you're crazy.
No.
The primary nose I get is that oak that when you cut brand new oak wood,
Yep.
you get that, I don't know why.
That sawdusty.
Sawd,
Yep.
yeah. It's really,
I,
it's subtle. You
It
have to kind
definitely
of dig
evolves
for it.
though.
it's got the oak flavor profile to me. It's got the vanilla. It's got the wood. It's got a little bit of spice to it, like a cinnamon clove
It
kind of
does.
thing going on.
It does. I
Just
like
a hint
that.
of it in the finish.
I like
It's
that.
not very pronounced.
Yep.
So,
It's not as sweet as I thought it would be, though.
Well, it is at first. Just
The
right at
nose
first.
smelled sweeter than the flavor, actually.
I
to
think
me.
it's kind of rich.
Well, to me, like I said, it's sweet right up first as soon as you put it in your tongue, and then all of a sudden it's just oaky. I mean, it's really oaky.
Yeah.
The oak almost overpowers the rest of the taste for me a little bit.
my question is, would this hold water? I'm not sure.
I don't think
40%. I
so.
doubt it would hold water. I mean, almost.
To me, it's feeling pretty
It's a pretty delicate flavor profile.
Yeah.
But it may help blend it a little bit for me. I don't know.
Might take the edge, the cinnamon edge, the spice edge
See,
off the back.
I'm starting to like that
It's
cinnamon edge better.
I'm actually kind of surprised that the spice is kind of, it doesn't go away. It kind of just hangs out and lingers there for a little bit. Gives it a nice finish to the Scotch.
There you go.
So Mark, you doing?
But
I
it's,
think it's pretty
Enjoyable
enjoyable.
that.
Yeah, whoa, look at how oily that is.
yeah,
Look at
it's
that. Look at those lines coming down, man. That's definitely.
it's got a little something to it.
We don't know that color, but
It's a very delicate flavor.
Well, I don't
though,
mind.
so I'm thinking the water's gonna
I think so too. I actually enjoy it neat, but I just
No.
I do
Okay.
too.
maybe.
I
put
actually
the
liked
hammer
it
on.
with a little bit of water.
Do you really?
Yeah.
What does it do? What is it?
It blends the Scotch a little bit more for me. Because right now, with neat, the oak was just overpowering the rest of the Scotch for me.
Really?
Yeah, but now I can
Of course,
taste
I
a
like
little bit
that.
more
I
of
mean,
the
that's
Scotch.
kind of that oaky,
Well, I mean, you might
heavier
like
flavor
that.
I like.
But now I get a little bit more of the other stuff. Like I've got some cinnamon stronger. I've got a little bit more. I got nutmeg actually.
Marzipan?
I lost all the note on this.
Damn,
I
just
didn't
got
even say
punched
it.
in the nose with that look. Did you see that, guys? Okay.
Yeah. So now it's just a little bit more sweet now.
Yeah. It actually didn't
Little bit more
lose
honey-
nearly
little more
as much
honey
as I
now.
thought it would.
I think it actually complements it a little bit. You can't put a whole lot, but I think it actually opens it up a little bit for me.
I'm actually surprised because I thought just putting a few drops of water on it was going to completely kill it, and it didn't. It's still
I
got.
think I like it just as much with the water as I did without it.
It hasn't
I
changed for
could-
you so much?
No, it's changed, but it's not like it's made it better or worse for me. I like
Okay.
it neat. I like it with the water. I thought the water was going to kill it too, but it
Yeah,
didn't.
it didn't.
For me, it kills the initial palate, but the lingering.
The linger is there.
The finish continues. The
Which
finish-
It hasn't hurt the finish.
It's
at all.
almost like the finish now rises up versus
Yeah.
before it just kind of continued through. That initial palate is.
Yeah.
I gotta.
It's a longer
I gotta
hit.
taste it again. Taste it again. Now. A little bit dry.
I'm going to agree with Drew. I think
It's
it
drying, too.
brought some of the sweeter notes forward on the initial palate, and it brought through some of the spice on
I
the
wish you
end.
were better.
I'm shocked because I really thought on the initial taste that water would have just put this in the grave.
Okay.
Right?
All right, Mark, you're up.
Mm-hmm.
No, take your time. There's no hurry.
That's it. I
All right,
think
so-
it's better.
I still got a pretty pronounced nose of pineapple, and I enjoy it. It's not a typical. I do. I liked it neat. It was a little bit sharp, a little bit rich, a little strong neat for 40% anyway. I thought the water was going to kill it. It didn't. It did mellow out the initial palate, but didn't kill the flavor. It toned the spiciness, the long-lasting down, just a little smoothed it out, but it's still there. It's a very long-lasting dram, which I like. I enjoy it. I don't remember what we did to the first Glenlivet. I don't think we were too kind to it, but I think it was one of their early,
It was their
staples.
entry level.
I like this. This is a pretty good dram. I like the flavor of it. I like the spiciness of it. I do like that, and Scotches. Primarily, all the other ones that have had spice I've rated pretty high. I'm going to give this a 2.5, and be excited about maybe some of their older statements. I like the pineapple on it. It's a little bit different to me. I got to say it, but it's
You guys
there.
are crazy. There's
I
I
don't
know.
taste any pineapple at all in here, but all right.
I do. So 2.5 from me.
All right. For me, I think I like this better neat. It had more of that oak punch that I like in a Scotch. So when we added the water, it definitely tamed down the nose, it tamed down the initial palate, but the finish I think is still fairly strong. I mean, that's the one thing that's holding this up for me is the finish is nice and lingering.
It's strong.
It's
Yeah.
not smoky, it's not peaty, it's none of those islets, nothing like that. It's a Speyside, it's a clean Speyside, there's no burnt tire or whatever you like in your Speysides or you see Speysides. Got none of that in here. I'm going to give it a 2 because I appreciate the finish. If the finish washed out, it'd be much lower. But I think the finish maintains long enough, and it's got enough flavor in that finish.
Hangs around
It's
long
kind
enough.
of, it's almost a drying. I mean, it's
Yeah,
kind of a drying
it really
finish as
is.
well. So I'll give it a 2.
Yeah, you said dry. I just had a drink, and it's the aftertaste. It's pretty dry. I actually disagree a little bit because I think the water makes it much better for me. And that's just obviously this is a
Great.
mixture
I
of
love it when we
opinions.
disagree.
He's a
Because-
Hell yeah.
Well,
He's a
because
sweetie.
I know I'm a sweetie,
you're
but
right.
I'm getting that better about stronger, bolder scotches. And
No,
but
that's
what
what
I
you
like
like.
about this one though is it is a little bit complex because it has evolved for me a little
It
bit.
does.
When I first tasted it, I thought, well, okay, this is a pretty good one. That oak was really powerful for me. It kind of overpowers the Scotch a little bit for me. I'm not a huge oak, like super oak tasting guy. But as soon as I put on a little drop of water, I feel like it dissolved the oak for me a little bit. A little more sweeter notes came in. I actually kind of, I know you're going to laugh, but I kind of can taste some of that pineapple juice a little bit.
Damn right.
But I got cinnamon. I got a lot of apple now. with. I know.
So,
But I
That's
got
why
some
there's four of us,
apple.
because we're all different.
But there,
you know?
there is a little bit that I can smell some of that pineapple sweetness in there, a little bit of a juice in there. But this apple, the cinnamon, the spice is stronger. The oak has come down. I'm gonna go 2 on this one. I actually was gonna go 1.5 originally, but I'm gonna go 2 now with the water.
dogs and cats living together,
I
mass
know.
hysteria.
It is chaos, man. What are you gonna do?
All right, so this was an interesting one. It's fairly unidimensional. I mean, oak is its primary flavor profile.
Yep.
I was pleasantly surprised that the finish was as good as it was. I wasn't expecting that at all. I was also surprised that it held up to water as well as it did, because I really
40%,
wasn't
yeah.
expecting
I'd
that.
agree on that.
The water helped bring forward a little bit of the sweetness. I was also surprised at how big the spice notes are in this thing. I mean, just sitting here having a few sips, it reinforces it, it builds it.
Yeah.
I haven't had a sip for a while, and I mean, I can still taste the Scotch. So it's got a little more lingering flavor than I anticipated it would, especially with the Speyside. Usually they're clean and crisp and they're gone.
Yep.
So that was nice. I'm going to give it a 2, only because it's fairly unidimensional. Oak
It's only
is
$50 though.
yeah. I mean, it's a good bottle. I'm not knocking it at
price,
all.
it's great.
It's definitely one worth picking up and trying. And this is probably one you'll find at a bar or something like that.
Sure.
It's in that price point. So I mean, this is one that you're going to be able to try for yourself without going to buy a bottle and see if you like it.
Yep.
Right.
So that's a good thing too, and it's definitely worth picking up a glass. If you haven't tried it and you see it on a menu, I'd buy a bottle.
It's worth a shot.
Yeah.
The other thing is, you're going to see a lot more Glenlivet coming out. Did you talk about the?
No, so they're
They expanded their stills in 2009 and increased their capacity by like 75%.
right.
So
2.3 million liters, I think.
Lots
now.
of any-
2.3 million liters a year. So we're going to
That's
see
a
a lot
lot
more
of
Glenlivet
booze.
hit the market.
Right.
So now that's going to take a few years to get to 15-year-old, but
it's coming.
you see,
Yeah,
and
they're
if they
definitely
keep
making
doing
more.
this, I think it's worth the money.
I'm actually excited to try some other ones now, 'cause I have a feeling we're going to taste some consistencies of this oak
You know,
and different things. And
It hasn't been around
It's a
since
good taste.
1823
For
because
nothing.
it's making
Yeah.
shit.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a good glass.
It's a good glass.
I have no problems at all with this.
All right, guys.
So around the horn?
5.
Two.
Two.
So
All right.
2.1.
I'm the Scotch Oregon.
Something.
It's all right.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching.
Cheers, guys. Thank
Like
you.
us on Facebook.
See you
YouTube,
next week.
Everything else.
Hey, Scotch lovers. Thanks for watching.
Joining the conversation.
More videos below.
And hit subscribe before you go so you can get the new videos when they come out.
Sláinte.
Cheers.